I'm a little long-winded and I think I'm gonna probably run over. So, I want to introduce myself. My name is Sheila Ali, and I run a place called the Irma Freeman Center for Imagination. I am a maker, the curator, director, and co-founder. And I'm a lot of other things too, but I'm not going to get into all that. I want to first give you a little bit idea of what I want to talk about today. I'm going to talk about a portrait of the artist as a young child, reflections from childhood, and my inspiration for making things. Basically, if you're thinking, what in the world is she going to be talking about? I'm going to be talking about the seeds that are planted in us as children and how they find the trajectory of our lives and how they impact what we end up doing. First, I want to say that I was the fourth child of 5 children, and we had a strict hierarchy, kind of like they do in the museum or the school system. So my father would actually line us up from youngest to oldest, and I was the 4th one, and my younger sister was 4 years younger than me, so she really didn't play with us. My memories of childhood, she wasn't really there, but I had my brother Ronnie, who's right there. He's only 4 years older, but he is the oldest, and always will be considered the oldest. Who's the wisest? He's the smartest. Then I had my sister Abira, whose name was Abby with a Y, and now is Abby with an I. She is also an artist. In fact, she is the artist. I'm getting into that later. And my brother Rahim Khalil, he's not a terrorist, although he has the name of a terrorist. He's technically inclined. And then there was me, Sheila. You might wonder, how did she get that name? Well, I'm actually German, Jewish, Bengali, Lithuanian, and I was named after someone from Scotland. But it is an Indian name. Anyway, I was being sort of like the younger child of living in my house, just like living in the Lord of the Flies, maybe you might say. I was often the butt of practical jokes, and I remember distinctly being very gullible, and my brothers and sisters would egg me on. I could give you a million examples. I'll give you one example or two. They'd say, Sheila, we have a surprise for you. Come upstairs, we have something for you. So I would run upstairs and open the door, and a bucket of water would fall all over me. And another example, we used to play the Beatles. It's a very, very vague memory, but we were actually the Beatles, and I'm pretty sure I had to be Ringo. So if that gives you any idea of the hierarchy and who gets to say what. I want to do a little, I'm gonna bump this, I think it's cheating, but I want to do a little dance for you. My first memory as a child was doing something called the quiet dance. So this was my first creative memory. And I was probably about 4 or 5 years old, and there was a bench. We'd set up a bench, a red bench, and people would sit, and I would perform. And it was basically, an improvisation or interpretive dance. So I was and then one day I went, and my brother Robbie said, no, Sheila, that is not quiet. That's a noise. So began my life as a critical thinker. I spent years and years studying marks and art, and those of you who've studied art know that there's a tight connection there between art theory and communism. But anyway, so I got into theater, and I always wanted to try to keep an open mind. So I want you to think about maybe just getting here in the moment and just take one hand and stretch it out. Stretch your hand out right there, and then put your other hand out and look at that.